Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with more questions about what Senator Mike Duffy was up to, who he was giving Senate contracts to, and whether he was trying to cover his tracks. Yesterday, it was allegations he gave a lucrative Senate contract to a friend for work that was never done. And now the focus is on a binder full of details he gave to the Prime Minister's former Chief of Staff. Jacques Bourbeau is looking into the Duffy file again for us tonight.
It was the beginning of 2013, and Senator Mike Duffy knew he was in trouble. Questions being raised about his housing claims and whether this cottage in PEI was his principal residence. So, according to this RCMP document, Duffy went to work, producing a binder containing 4 years' worth of daily schedules and giving it to Nigel Wright, the then Chief of Staff to Stephen Harper. Soon after, Duffy wrote an email explaining the binder, saying, "Mary and I copied and redacted my 4 years of diaries." But there's no explanation what Duffy redacted, what was changed, edited, altered, or removed.
But sources do explain why Duffy compiled this binder. He wanted to show the Prime Minister's office that he was so busy doing political events around the country that he couldn't possibly be expected to live full-time in PEI. And what's also interesting is neither Duffy nor Nigel Wright gave this binder with all its information to auditors who were called in to examine Duffy's expenses. Instead, Nigel Wright only handed it over 3 months ago after the RCMP investigation began.
Duffy is now facing allegations of fraud. RCMP evidence shows he hired a buddy, paid him $65,000, but little to no work was done. There's still one piece of this puzzle the Mounties haven't figured out. Where did the money go? They know Duffy shoveled cash to Gerald Donahue and to 2 companies controlled by Donahue's family. But what the Mounties want to find out is where the money went after that, which is why they want to look at Donahue's bank records. A Conservative MP says the clear lesson is the rules need to be tightened up.
Clearly, we need to look at how the Senate accounts for expenditures. Trust, but verify.
Sources also tell Global News that just before the Senate called in outside auditors, Duffy was lobbying hard to prevent that from happening. But he wasn't successful. And once auditors and eventually the RCMP got to take a look at his books, the allegations of wrongdoing have been piling up. Jacques Bourbeau, Global News, Ottawa.
This does remain an investigation. Senator Duffy has not been charged with anything. But after everything that's been made public so far about him and other senators caught up in questionable expenses, many Canadians are already passing judgment. They're fed up.
It's not good. There needs to be some more checks and balances, I think.
He and some other names, several, it's not him only, that have embarrassed the Senate.
I think it should be a bit more of a transparent situation.
Man, I wish he was my friend.